Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about software processes. A structured set of activities required to develop a software system are known as software processes. Here we have specification, design, validation and evaluation of the software. Software processes are very important for examinations. Software process model. Here we have some examples of software process model. A software process model is an abstract representation of the process. Here we have Waterfall Model, Evolution and Development Model, Component-Based Model, Incremental Delivery Model, and lastly the Spiral Development Model. Now, the Waterfall Model. The Waterfall Model is the software life cycle. It means we can do a single part at once. In this diagram, we can see that first of all, we start with the requirementation, then we move to the software design, then the implementation section, and lastly the testing system, and lastly when we distributed the software, then it will our task to maintain the software. In the waterfall model, we do the part once. That means if you move to the next part, which is system design, you cannot turn back to the requirement or the definition section. That's how the waterfall model works. But in our real life, we don't work on the waterfall model. Here are the phases of waterfall model that we have already discussed in the diagram. First one is the requirement, means what the user want. Then the system design, then the designing of the system. Implementation and unit testing is in the testing section. Unit testing is the small testing parts of the software. And lastly, the system testing in the integration. That means some units are combined to make a pure and proper system, and the whole system is testing, means the system testing. And lastly, the maintenance means after delivering the software needs to be maintained. This is discussed in this part, which is operation and maintenance section. Here are the advantages of waterfall model, which is the documentation is produced for each phase and it fits with the engineering process models. Here we have the waterfall model and some problems of waterfall model are described here. In a nutshell, we can say that waterfall model can be used when our requirements is fixed and the developer is very much skilled. Otherwise, if you do any wrong or error in the coding section or any part, you cannot turn back to the previous section. Now, evolutionary development. The approaches of interlevel or the activities of the specification, development and the validation and initial system is rapidly developed from the abstraction specification. This is then the refined with the customer input to produce the system that satisfy the customer needs is known as the evolutionary developments. Means that some changes in the software to satisfy the development and the customer is known as the evolutionary development. In the evolutionary development, we have two parts: exploratory development and throwaway prototyping. If we change in the software, this is known as the exploratory development, and the throwaway prototype is means to first of all we need to create a prototype of the project, then we can change in the project. In evolutionary development, we have this diagram. It means that first of all the outline of the description, then we have the specification, development and validation phases. The specification is connected with the initial versions and development is in the intermediate version and validation is the final version. In the software system, we can have some versions like version 1, version 2, or sometimes we have some subversions. So those are the results of evolutionary developments. The advantages and problems and applications of the evolutionary development is discussed here. The specifications can be developed intermediately. This one is the advantage of evolutionary development. The problems here are lacks of process validity, systems are often poorly structured, and specific skills are needed. Application for a small and medium size of interaction system and for parts of the large system and short lifetime systems are the application of evolutionary development. That's for today. Thank you.